It's not dangerous. It contains, as I say, managed risk. The play structures and the environment um, are they set challenges to children, but all those challenges are easily accessible by the child. That's the difference between a risk and a hazard. A risk is something that you measure and you take, and a hazard is something that happens to you. So a hole in the ground that you can't see is a hazard. A hole in the ground that you can see and you can decide whether you can jump over it or not is a risk that you can decide to take. Obviously, like sometimes adults' personal and cultural prejudices do come into their relationships with their children, and we have had incidences such as adults taking the tools away from the girls and saying to them, "That's not for you, that's for boys." And this is the wrong thing. In the modern world, people ought to be able to take up whatever kind of activity they choose to, and gender shouldn't be a problem. So we do have to speak to those parents sometimes, and we also have to speak to parents sometimes who want to basically bully other children on behalf of their children. Adults don't realise how forceful and bullying they can be sometimes. We do facilitate the children to access height. All the structures that are self-built by the play workers and the children are designed so that the immediate drop height is limited. So whereas a child may be able to climb up 4 metres, the drop height onto the next platform, the next level, is always under 2 metres. We allow the children and facilitate the children to use tools, but we control the areas where they're allowed to use tools, and we support them to use the tools, and we constantly patrol so that we know where the tools are and what the children are doing with them, and whether we think that child is capable of accomplishing that task at that time. If we think they can, we leave them to it. If we think they need support, we offer support. If we think there's no way that child can do that, then we stop them.